Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So in this one here, I wanted to talk about the episode 20 trailer, episode 21 trailer, and I really wanted to talk about some past shots that we've gotten from previous trailers. Remember I said I was going to do that, and I wanted to kind of combine it with some shots that were in this trailer and just see if we can see where the characters are going to be going here over the next couple of episodes, because this one trailer has really confused me quite a bit. Like, usually they're like, for the most part, pretty easy to sort of analyze, and although I might get like, certain predictions wrong in terms of where the story is going to go in that episode, I can basically get the gist of where the episode's going in terms of the timeline, right? And just like where characters are going to be in the beginning and then towards the end. But in this one here, characters are just kind of everywhere. We see Alexandria, we see characters in other locations, which I think leads me to believe that the characters are going to be split up in this episode, with some characters going after Alexandria and other characters, I guess, going after this prison camp. But anyways, before we go any further, obviously, please be aware that this video will contain spoilers for episode 20 of The Walking Dead. Also, definitely make sure to be a subscriber if you want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. Now, I'm going to say, based off of episode 20's reaction by a lot of you guys, it seems like everyone here believes that there has to be some sort of Civic Republic plot. Like, I'm not going to say everybody, because obviously some people don't believe that, but there's a lot of people that after episode 20 believe that now, and that is the one thing that I'm going to say is, like, if this doesn't end up being something Civic Republic related, man, this is just insane level of trolling by like Scott Gimple and Angela Kang, right? Like, we know about the Civic Republic, right? Like, World Beyond, there was a lot of faults with World Beyond, but that was the most exciting element to that show, was learning more about the Civic Republic, learning more about what they do, and sort of just, we learned a little bit, I would say, in that show, we learned a little bit of what certain, I guess, motivations would be for certain leaders, but we don't know the whole thing, right? Like, we have no idea who Major General Beale is, and there's a bunch of stuff there. So again, we know the Civic Republic want people. I mean, even if you just ignore World Beyond, it's happened on our show. The Civic Republic want people in return for resources, and they literally use them out for experiments, or they actually contribute in a really great way at the Civic Republic. So, and that's what I mean. Our characters have gone to this prison camp thing, and Lance has been talking about alliances and also the plan, with this train that once built, it would connect them with other communities and stuff, and they could form, alliances and all that. And yeah, you see a shot like this in the trailer where you do see the train, it looks like this was newly built because the tracks are going over the road. So I just, again, when I see stuff like this, like, if this isn't CRM related at all at this point, like, this has to be trolling, right? Like, this actually has to be trolling. It would be really nuts. Which I do want to say, the big moment we're all waiting for, where Daryl, or just any character really, learns of the Civic Republic or learns of Rick. I guess I shouldn't say Civic Republic, but learns of Rick's reveal and stuff like that. I mean, it could be in the same episode, but I think it's going to happen in episode 23. Because they want to save stuff like that for the end. And based off of where the story's at right now, I do think that's probably basically the ending reveal here. I mean, they literally could save that for the last episode, which, again, I'm definitely not that big of a fan of that, but it really depends on how they do it as well, right? Because usually they do things like those bigger moments really well, so then I sort of forget about certain pacing things and whatever. But at this point, it kind of feels like they're holding it off until episode 23 and 24. And so right now, what they're doing is sort of setting up this whole, this Commonwealth outpost camp, and they're having our characters there. We're going to have some characters try to go back to Alexandria to try and take that over. And it looks like we're building to this moment, though. Like, it makes sense that they wouldn't just come out and give us something immediately, because there's so much going on right now. We sort of want to live in the story a little bit, but honestly, I kind of see it happening very, very soon. And by soon, I mean probably in 3 episodes from now. So we're going to have we'll have episode 21 and 22 to sort of flesh out some of this newer story that we have with this train. And then in 23, I think something big will happen. And then we'll see where that goes for 24 and stuff. Now, there's certain shots from other trailers and stuff that we haven't seen yet. So there's this one shot of Carol and Judith and Kelly. That's a little interesting. Like, this literally could be nothing, but because of where they were taken to, it just kind of feels like, to me, maybe this is like Carol and Judith after they found out something with the Civic Republic, or maybe there's something there, regarding Rick. Obviously, this is really hard to say because it's just one shot, but it's just, based off of what's happened with all of our characters, Judith, Herschel and others were taken. It just seems a little interesting to have a shot like this based off of where we're at now, and there's only 4 more episodes left, right? There is also another one of Maggie with some Commonwealth soldiers. It looks like they're outside of Alexandria, at least I believe so. And I also believe that these Commonwealth soldiers are on her side now. So just, when does this take place? I don't think it's going to be in 21. I think it's probably 22 or maybe 23, around there for sure. There's also a scene in the episode 21 trailer where, Maggie does say that they're going to go take back their home and make it right. And so if you actually look at the setting, first of all, I think she's talking with Rosita here. There's a shot in the Comic-Con trailer that shows a bunch of characters together here. See, that's what's kind of interesting about trailers and stuff like that. If you reveal too much early on, after you watch a certain amount of episodes, if you get a new teaser like we got here and we know more of the context behind the scenes, if you just go back and watch some of those old trailers, like, we're going to see shots that like are definitely a little too revealing or almost too spoilery for that episode, because we know based off of this one scene here that a lot of characters are together here. We know that Daryl, Kelly, and Connie, there's Rosita, Gabriel, Maggie, Carol, like there's a lot of characters together here, and they're all sort of, planning on what to do next year. And we know most of these characters right now are held in that camp. But in the episode 21 trailer, Maggie's here with Rosita. So it seems like some characters are going to break out. I'm guessing not everyone, obviously. I think some characters are probably just gonna still be held captive, or unless those characters are maybe taken somewhere else, like Herschel and stuff, I don't know. But I'll just say I do find it pretty interesting. And she says that they want to take back their places. And then we also see Alexandria and stuff. So I think Maggie at that point, goes back. And I think they're gonna have this plan here where Daryl and maybe Negan, maybe a few other characters are going to stick around in this location to learn some more stuff about what the Commonwealth people are doing here. There may be some more stuff that we're going to learn throughout episode 21 that really shows why they're sticking around. And then I think Maggie and other characters will go back to Alexandria to take that place or retake that place. Because again, there's something with this train. Like, there's something with this train storyline. I don't know if they're going to go on the train. I think that'd be really cool. I hope they do. Honestly, I hope that they actually, like, we do see them on a train. It would just make this story super exciting, honestly, just sort of from a visual point of view. Not even really that, it's just to have our characters on a train. That's definitely upping the stakes here, and the show won't feel so low budget, because at times this show can feel very low budget. It really does. Honestly, the Commonwealth is so massive, but it doesn't really feel like it. It honestly feels like it's just like this small little community. But it is really big. Like, if you actually see a map of the Commonwealth, it is so massive. But it's hard to gather that on the show because the budget's so low. So they sort of just, they use that main area so much. So yeah, seeing the train a lot more, I think, would be really awesome. But the warden does say, take comfort in knowing that good people will benefit from your labor here. I'm personally not going to read too much into that, but I would like to know what you guys think. Like, what does he mean by good people? Is that just the fact that the Commonwealth are going to be benefiting from their work? And again, it depends on what kind of work they're doing, right? Like, are they gathering resources basically for other communities? Like, I'm just really confused on what they're doing there, because they said like good people are going to benefit from your labor here. When he says good people, is he referring to the Commonwealth, or is he referring to the CRM? It's kind of hard to say. Again, I don't want to read too much into that line right there, but it's an interesting line. There's also this one shot of Daryl smiling, which still hasn't happened yet. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know, based off of where the story is right now, I don't see him smiling anytime soon, because things are really, really intense right now. So like, that's why in the beginning of the video, I started off saying that this just really would feel like an insane level of trolling if this isn't CRM related, because I just don't know what any of this means here, right? Like, it looks like that's the one thing I'll say, like, they're not moving farther away from that, where certain story elements, certain, character decisions or places where our characters are going are just like moving farther away from that. It's like, no, they're almost doubling down on it a little bit here. We're hearing more about these alliances or these new communities, or like this train to go to other communities and stuff that Lance was saying. Like, we see this camp over here. We see a lot of characters taken over there. Like, they're going more in this direction where it looks like they're actually trying to connect the Commonwealth with the Civic Republic here, which obviously is sort of connecting our characters with the reveal eventually that Rick is alive. So I don't know how it happens. Honestly, it is kind of hard to say, but I really do feel like in true Walking Dead fashion, and that's the one thing I'm going to say, in true Walking Dead fashion, that Commonwealth soldier that Daryl is interrogating, I feel like is going to tell us more information, or more valuable information than anything else can really tell us. Because I feel like a lot of us are expecting this really epic scene where this helicopter comes flying down and it's just all crazy. Honestly, I feel like the episode is just going to be whatever it's going to be, but we will see this Commonwealth soldier just sort of, give some sort of cryptic dialogue in this scene that is probably going to be what we're all talking about, right? Like that's sort of that's kind of how it's been actually as of late. They almost just throw one piece of dialogue in each episode. Like one episode will mention Rick, one episode will mention this alliance, and if something were to happen to Lance, like something bad happened to Lance, then these certain stabilizing factors would definitely have issues with it, or these alliances. And it's just interesting. I'm just going to say that, I don't quite know where we're going here, but at this point, if this isn't Civic Republic related, I don't know what it is. Like, honestly, what could it be? Anyways, I'm going to leave it here. So definitely post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Make sure to be a subscriber if you want to get all of my Walking Dead content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.